Adam B. here today at the Craft Music Gallery. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Yamaha NU1X and the NU1XA. And what are the differences? Are the differences black and white? I happen to be sitting here with a Yamaha NU1XA in black, and behind me is the NU1X in white. Aesthetically, these two pianos are almost identical. Within a 1/16 of an inch and within 1 pound, they are physically just about the same. I've had an opportunity to play both of these instruments today, and well, they're both a joy to play. They truly are. They feel fantastic. In fact, the physical key action on both instruments is virtually identical. What's different is how the instrument and the tones respond to my playing. Now, I feel very musical and right at home on the NU1X, but there's something to be said about what's going on in the NU1XA. My interpretation is that it has just a much wider dynamic range, whether I'm playing, really heavy and really bombastic, or real gentle and real dolce. There's just definitely more to the NU1XA. NU1XA has a little bit more to offer. I've also noticed some tonal differences between the instruments, and this has to do with the fact that the new NU1XA has not only an enhanced speaker system, but also on the rear of both of these instruments, there are some speaker ports to let some sound out the back. On the NU1X, there's 2 smaller speaker ports located on the top of the instrument. On the NU1XA, those 2 ports exist, but there's also 2 larger ones down low. What this does is it lets sound out of the instrument from the rear of the instrument in combination with the sound you're catching from the front of the instrument, because of course you have speakers in the front pointed at you. So what's going on is that I've got sound coming out of this piano from everywhere. And that's exactly how an acoustic piano behaves. If you've ever been in a room with an acoustic piano, the sound is coming from the instrument in all directions. And I sense that on the NU1XA more so than on the NU1X. Additionally, most of us are probably going to put a beautiful upright piano like this up against a wall in the home. Now, when you think about those speaker ports in the rear, and they're projecting that sound to the wall, and then that sound is reflecting off the wall into your room, that's a magnificent tone, and you're just going to love it. There's something else that I really appreciate about NU1XA over the NU1X, and it's the user interface. NU1X has hard buttons and an LCD numeric display, so getting around on the instrument is fine, particularly if you're in a well-lit room. On NU1XA, it's a full graphic display that lights up. All I have to do is tap on it, the whole screen lights up, I can see exactly where I am, where I want to go, things I want to change or edit. And when I stop and I go back to my playing, that screen shuts itself off, so you're back to just looking at a natural piano. I think it's fantastic design. So most likely the reason you're considering an NU1X or an NU1XA is you're not concerned with lots of bells and whistles. You're concerned with the most authentic piano feel and tone. And while both of these instruments have that to offer for sure, we've noticed some definite differences in the sound system. When we were on break, we took a close look with a flashlight and got into the speaker vents to see what's actually going on inside of each of these models. Now on NU1X, again, that's the white one behind me, you've got 2 16-centimeter woofers down below projecting at you. So if I'm at the piano, the speakers are here and they're pointing at me. And then up on top, right about here, there are 2 tweeters pointing at me. And it's a fantastic sound, it's very present, it's right in front of me, it's immediate, it's great. NU1XA has something special to offer above that. The speaker system in the NU1XA, it's a completely different design. What you've got going on still are the 2 16-centimeter woofers, but instead of forward facing, they're actually pointing upwards. So where's that sound going? It's doing a few different things. One thing it's doing is that it's taking the cabinet and allowing the sound to resonate and bounce off of the cabinet inside, which would happen on an acoustic upright, for sure. The other thing that's happening is there are those speaker ports that allow sound to come out of the instrument in the rear. So the sound from those speakers are also coming out of the piano from those speaker ports in the rear and also the vents in the front. So a lot of sound coming from just those 2 woofers from below. Again, they're upward pointing and sound is coming out the front and the back from those. Secondly, is that there's 2 tweeters up on top. And they're not pointed right at you. They're actually pointed upwards, just like those woofers are. But they have horns on each one of them. So there's a horn pointing at you and a horn pointing at the rear of the instrument and the tweeter pointing up at them. So sound is being dispersed out of both sides of those horns. And there's 2 of them for the left and the right. Now, when you think about all that sound and how it's coming out of the speaker ports and how it's resonating within the body of the instrument and the horns and the tweeters, it's a sound coming from the entire instrument. And again, that's what you'll experience on an acoustic upright, so it's extremely authentic. Both of these pianos feature Yamaha's CFX grand piano sample, and it's like the very best of a bright grand piano sample on the market today. NU1XA also features the Bosendorfer grand piano sample. So in the NU1XA, you get the very best of a bright grand piano and the very best of a dark grand piano, and it's awesome. Knowing that you're looking at one of these Avant Grands because you want it to feel and sound as much like an acoustic piano as possible, it's important to point out to you that while there are some touch sensitivity adjustments on the NU1X, there's a lot more variations of touch sensitivity on the NU1XA. There's two different ones. If you tend to be heavy-handed, there's one right in the middle, medium, and then there's two if you're particularly soft-handed, and then lastly is there's a fixed velocity, and that might come in useful if you're playing like an organ sound or a string sound. So more options and variations to suit your particular playing style. On the NU1XA, right from the control panel on the left side of the instrument, you can access Piano Room. Piano Room is a feature that allows you to make adjustments to reverb, for example, all the different types of reverb, all the different depths of reverb, and other things that you experience on an acoustic piano that you can virtually bring into your sound, like string resonance, hammer hardness, things like that. And you can program all those attributes right on the face of the instrument. Finally, I'd like to mention that NU1XA offers brilliance control and 16 additional voices. And these are going to be variations on pianos, electric pianos, organs, and orchestral tones. So are the differences between NU1X and NU1XA black and white? I'd have to say, yeah, they are. I think whether you agree or not would have to do with your experience at the instrument, your taste for touch and tone. I've been plunking away for, I guess, about 45 years now, so I kind of know what I like, and I find that all of the upgrades in NU1XA, being the additional Bosendorfer grand piano tone, the different touch sensitivity options that are available to me, the speaker placement, the speaker ports that allow the sound to come out of the instrument. I mean, everything about the way this instrument sounds and feels to me is supremely authentic, and it's just a fantastic piano. Any questions about NU1XA, we hope that you'll reach out and give us a call. Once again, my name is Adam Beer here at the Craft Music Gallery, and thanks for watching.